How to frighten the new generation. Put them in a room where the door has been welded shut. There are no windows, there is no way to know the time, there is only a mirror in the corner. There is something scratching at the walls. Yeah, I mean, that would make me a little nervous, but there's usually scratching sounds coming from the inside of my skull, so I'm kinda desensitized to it. Hi again, guys, and this one's gonna be a bit weird. We're gonna look at the subreddit called r/comedy necrophilia. If you don't know, a necrophiliac is someone who is attracted to corpses, and it turns out there are a lot of you out there. In the context of this subreddit, people take posts from a place like r/comedy cemetery, a subreddit I covered before where people post memes that are just rancidly unfunny. And the good Samaritans at Comedy Necrophilia will spruce them up by essentially giving that dead body some new clothes and putting a paper bag over its head. They somehow make the memes that were so bad even worse, and that way they loop back around to being funny because of how much irony they're lathered in. Y'all said in the comments of that Comedy Cemetery video that you wanted me to make this, so it's kinda your fault I'm doing it. If you enjoy this video, there will be this big card at the end that takes you to the Comedy Cemetery video I mentioned, and it is a real graveyard over there. And did you know less than 1/5 of all you guys are subscribed with notifications on? I cry at night because of that. Please consider subscribing and hitting that bell. It takes 2 seconds, it's free, and you can always undo it if you decide you hate me. My Little Pony is a show for little girls. This is a true statement. Alright, crash course time. A popular trope of Comedy Necrophilia posts are often these bottom panels showing up after the main meme has already played in varying resolutions. Robert Downey Jr. is a common one, and they've lovingly named him Stuff as a reference to the I'm Stuff meme he's from. And these bottom panels usually serve to take any momentum out of a joke from the post, to be a reaction to what happened in it, or to be the moral center of an otherwise really fucked up shitpost. 50 cal destroying my nutsack. This post was made by blasting off my own nuts with a shotgun gang. I shot my nuts off. It's crazy that this meme is how I found out shotguns are using 50 cal rounds now. That is absolutely nuts, so now I have to blow them off. A fun at-home recipe idea: if you pick the pieces of flesh that used to be your ball sack off the ground, you can replace the chicken in your salad with them for a tasty, ethically sourced protein substitute. If I offered you $100,000 to jump from a plane without a parachute, would you do it? I bet you would. 1. Wait for it to rain. 2. Cover yourself in oil. 3. Fly. Moral of the story: oil floats on water. Okay, this is where my expertise dried up initially. I had to do the 40-year-old man thing and go on Know Your Meme for the oil floats on water meme origin. If my out-of-touch micro-celebrity analysis is correct, it seems like another one of those multi-layered ironic in-jokes that have evolved into a part of the meme lexicon the subreddit communicates with each other with. It started as a simple rage comic with the oil floats on water premise, where if you cover yourself in oil when it rains, you will fly because oil floats on water. Duh. From there, it received the violating and dehumanizing treatment that every meme on that subreddit goes through. Step 3 was changed from flying to crushing your nutsack with a rock. People started expressing the truth of the meme when they tried it themselves, and yeah, oil does make you fly in the rain. It's been proven. Other steps got changed, and suddenly it became an awareness campaign about climate change, the face of which was our very own Stuff. 1. Wait for it to rain. 1. Wait for it to rain. 1. Wait for it to rain. This is climate change. I learned so much when I write these videos. 8-year-old me. Racist jokes are not funny. Me after joining Reddit. This is a fantastic vase. I mostly browse pottery-related subreddits. I'm glad you found a healthy hobby to emotionally express yourself in. Processing your emotions in a productive way is an essential part of being a functioning adult. And hey, it's great you found an online community with similar interests, in Reddit of all places. Speaking of interests, my G Fuel code Kwite will get you 30% off your order for today only. This is stuff I genuinely use daily, and I highly recommend the Sonic Peach Rings flavor. It absolutely whips. If you use the first link in the description, you help out the channel by showing them I'm worth keeping around. I genuinely recommend it. Your side options today are fries for $6 or extremely gay fries, which are standard gay fries topped with cum, onions, cheese, and more cum. It'll run you a cool 6 figures if you want to put those inside you. To me, putting cum on fries seems like a pretty natural evolution from poutine. I mean, jizz tastes like salt by nature, and I've only ever really complained about a french fry being undersalted, never for having too much salt. To me, this just seems like a safety measure to make sure my tongue gets what it's looking for. Guns cause all of this trouble. Goat bussy, goat bussy, goat bussy. This is unironically the best breakdown of the video games cause violence debate I've ever seen. People who say that shit have no idea what is actually happening in video games. The game box is not making your child violent. It's making them attracted to things they were never supposed to pop a boner over. Meaning, the problem is much worse than what you thought it was. Me decides not to kill the spider in my room. The spider the next morning is dead. The spider was living with an inborn and untreated heart condition that caused its untimely perishment. Make sure to get your animals checked up so that these misfortunes can be avoided. I think I hate it the most when these anti-memes, if you will, give actually solid advice. Like, if you're a first-time pet owner who has no idea where to start, yes, this is a genuinely good thing to know ahead of time. There's probably at least one person out there considering getting a cat because they see all these cute videos of them on the internet, and it was a shit post like this one that made them think about what the implications of being a pet owner really are. They'd had a long think about what responsibilities come with caring caring for another living being. This is stupid. He's right. 2 parallel steel rails would make much more effective tracks for a tram than people. I don't know, man. It seems like the tram is staying pretty on path so far. Theoretically, you would think if this track was made entirely out of people, it would veer off to the side with no metal slats to hold it in place. But according to this image, that's not how it works in practice at all. Human bodies are apparently a completely serviceable mode of transportation. You have a math exam. Your dad will give you $200 if you pass. Your mom will give you $500 if you pass. You realize you can get $1,000 if you pass. His parents are lesbian. I think this post is a really good microcosm of what comedy necrophilia is able to achieve. This sub is often just indecipherable nonsense, but in this case, it takes the setup and punchline of a previous meme that was kinda ass and turns how AIDS it was into a setup for a better punchline that has Robert Downey Jr., Peter Griffin, or Big Chungus next to it. There are other characters they pick from, but it's usually one of those 3. I'm desperate for stuff, he says as he digs up Stuff's grave. He dug up my body and sexed me. Holy fuck, this is an example of actual necrophilia. Trust me, Big Chungus, there was nothing holy about that fuck. You know, for being a grave-robbed corpse that was made a victim of some deranged man's necrophilic urges, Stuff is taking this whole situation really well. He seems at most mildly surprised that this all happened. Teacher, okay everyone, today we will brutally murder Kyle and hang his intestines out the window. And the kid named Kyle is not super psyched about the whole thing. I don't know, he just seems like a poor sport to me. Editing in an Ifunny bar and doing it wrong on purpose is a bit of window dressing that I can't explain how really pulls this thing together into being cohesive. There is a long and storied history of downloading memes off Ifunny, getting the meme you downloaded watermarked by Ifunny, sharing those memes with your friends, and then being bullied that you downloaded the meme off Ifunny. These days, when you save a picture from the Reddit app, it has a similar watermark at the bottom that says what subreddit you got it from. I predict that this will be the new way that people make jokes at their friends' expense for getting memes from Reddit, except they will falsify where they got them from. Someone will post an innocent Big Chungus meme, but the watermark will say he downloaded the image from r/femyth and make him look like a criminal. Are you okay? I'm fine, they say, with all their demons weighing them down. They're constantly fighting off having ball cancer, hairy palms, being bow-legged, having a piss fetish, their chronic meth problem, their micro-dick, and worst of all, being Polish. Being the thing that dancers do all the dancing on, holding them up so they can perform, and not getting any recognition for the effort you put into making these routines possible has to be a thankless job. Being a Pole is harder than bedrock. My girlfriend, me, I am in a severely abusive relationship. Wholesome 100. I hate to kill your mood, Skyrim skill meter, but this is actually not wholesome at all, guys. If your significant other points a gun or a rocket launcher at you unprovoked, you need to let them know they aren't respecting your boundaries. A doctor and French tank factory worker loved the same girl. Doctor used to give her a rose daily, and French tank factory worker used to give the girl a French tank. Girl got confused and asked, there is meaning of giving rose. Why are you giving French tank? Because I work at the French tank factory. The meaning in getting a rose every day is lost when he gives you one every day, you dolt. That motherfucker probably picks it as an afterthought on the way home from work, and your stupid ass keeps falling for it. The French tank is something you can actually do shit with, whether that be pilot it yourself or sell it to authoritarian governments looking to expand their military arsenal. The French tank factory worker gave you options, while the doctor gave you some shit he didn't even put together himself. Watching straight adult films until I get hard. 37 seconds. Watching gay adult films until I get hard. 37 seconds as well. I am bisexual. Guys, this is literally me. Peep the lights. I like that the gay one has over triple the views of the straight one. It implies that people were way more excited to find out if bro liked men than if he liked women. I guess it is technically more exciting of a spectator sport. If I get circumcised, don't eat my foreskin. Just look at my cock and say it looks like Big Chungus. You know, this is as awful a soapbox as any to platform one of the worst thoughts I've ever had in my life. Since I was a kid, I always thought that from the top down, if you look at a circumcised penis, it kind of looks like somebody with a bob cut from the back. Like this haircut from the back has a shocking resemblance to a dickhead. That's not a dig at the haircut personally. I think on its own it looks good. I am just a special kind of brain dead where I make these type of connections without trying to. If you could read my mind, you would be in tears. From Arthur Fleck, aka the Joker. Okay, for one, he did not say that in the movie, and that's the wrong Joker, dummy. But regardless, he's got exclusively bottom panels from comedy necrophilia on his mind. He has spent far too much time on r/comedy necrophilia, Stuff says. Hey guys, Peter Griffin here. Just a reminder to log off once in a while for the sake of your mental health. Wholesome 100. The formatting of this one is what gets me personally. You've got the 3 typical bottom panels, any one of which could have been a solid end of the post right then and there. And then as you keep scrolling, the Wholesome 100 pops up like a fucking jump scare. It sucks because the context of the post makes the Wholesome 100 mood appropriate for once. This generation was the first to be raised online. Reddit taught me to be racist. 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 And then a few more times before 4chan taught me to be a father figure. I'm not exactly sure how, but this meme feels like an expression of self-loathing. Like the person who made it is not happy with the circumstances of their existence that made them into the person they are today. They wish they could control external factors that they will never be able to wrangle under their grasp. It's a real existentialist thing. That's all the necrophilia I'm going to participate in for today. Why did I say that sentence? That card I mentioned should be on screen now. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop a like and subscribe with that bell turned on, or I will have your grave robbed whenever you end up getting put in one. Remember, don't go after anyone I talked about today because that's cringe. Anyways, this has been Kwite, and I have so much to repent for.